Welcome to the Clifton Worley Show. We have got Mr. R.J. Smith of
Right.
of what?
Of what? You know what?
You know what it
Talks.
is.
What it is, yo. That was
Telly
terrible.
Talks.
Yes, indeed.
Are you talking tellies tonight?
Am I talking tellies tonight? We can talk tellies.
Okay. Let's talk some
Let's
tellies.
talk some tellies. I mean, Fender really killed it. Like, their master built stuff that they had on the show floor was really cool. I know everybody's gonna want us to get to a very specific telly, but hold the dough. Slow down, slow your roll. A couple other tellies that I'd like to talk about first before we get to the one that everybody wants to talk. Everybody in the club getting tipsy, like Clifton apparently.
No.
No, I'm giving Clifton a hard time, but Clifton kind of gets a little wonky after a long day. I don't know how you're getting these like little spurts of energy. Like, it's weird.
I've been running about 4 hours of sleep for the last 3 days.
We all have,
and so I'm just getting a little nutty.
Yeah.
Usually I get really grumpy, but I'm excited to be here. So like, it's kind of, I'm a little like pushing past that. So.
Okay, so sorry, I was just like putting like a little buffer in there. Just because I was like wanting to pull up my phone so I could go over some of the tellies that I was looking at.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
When this goes live, we'll totally post the pictures in the group for everybody to see, things like that. But that telly bass that they did, that was blue. That thing is gorgeous.
Yeah. That I saw that was a very neat bass.
I mean, I know it's just a master build, so it was like a one-off, which is kind of a bummer. It wasn't like an actual series bass, because I would totally buy one, because as a bass player and as a telly lover, like, they did that right. Another one is I think we may have mentioned it before. We might have mentioned on my episode. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. Clifton's on an episode reviewing the NAMM overall. But the multi-grain wood, like basically the Prisma Fender Telecaster, like Prisma guitars.
Yeah.
That thing was really cool as well.
We're going to have to get these photos up.
Oh, yes, and I got pictures of all of them, so we'll definitely post them. And then the tenor telly. Very cool. I've been told that it's only going to be about $400 on street, which is really cool if you want to get it into tenor guitars and you want a telly shape.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at that price point, but
yeah,
I think that'll make a lot of people happy.
Jim Bowers, like, so wide-eyed and giddy when he found out that's how much it costs, because he was already intrigued, and then he was like, like $400? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna probably have to buy that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about, because that was the biggest push that they did, is this Acoustisonic Telecaster. It was the biggest thing that they had there. They had like 20 of them on the wall, all different colors and everything. We picked them up. Like, I wanted to really, really hate them. I don't hate them. I don't think they're worth what they're charging. And I mean, they do feel like a telly, which is cool. Every clip that I've heard, which I did not get to plug them in while we were there, but every clip that I heard like online, I'm not impressed with the electronic side at all. And then the acoustic is, you might as well, it's literally as loud as just a regular telly, like an actual electric guitar. So, but they're going over this whole digital, like digital preamp that like changes the different kinds of, the woods. Like, oh yeah, this is a spruce top or this is mahogany top. Just switch it left and right or whatever. I'm not sold on it. I don't know why they're doing this. It makes no sense to me. Try to relaunch this how many times now? This series?
Well,
this Telecaster?
I've seen stuff kind of like this.
Or incarnations of it.
Yeah. Now you have to take. This is what I heard. The buzz has been going around is that somebody who had worked on the Taylor T5, that hybrid acoustic electric guitar, was involved with helping Fender make this Acoustisonic, this new one.
Lovely.
And so that brings it. In the past, it's been like a cheap nod to this concept. This time, I feel like it's taken a step further, but the price is in kind of that boutique guitar price, so it's up there.
I have a question. Yeah. You're talking about this guy. He helped design this, the Taylor, which I'm familiar with. Am I correct in thinking that they don't make those guitars anymore?
The T5s, I'm not sure.
They're still. I'm looking at Scott Hamilton.
I mean, they were like you didn't buy one. They like you could keep it in stock for years there.
Okay.
They don't make them anymore.
Okay. Because I remember the hype. Well, like when they first came out, it was a big deal. You saw them everywhere. Now I don't see them at all. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, that's cool. They got somebody who knows what they're doing, but I have a feeling that this isn't gonna last. I think it's another gimmick. Because I mean, like, it's literally 2,500. Can somebody fact check me, Scott? Yes. See, we have fact checkers now. Clifton's stepping his game up.
For the record, the T5 is for $4,500 on Sweetwater right now.
Okay.
So they're still in stock.
So they are still in stock. So the Taylors are still in production. Okay. I did not know that.
Well,
Also, guys, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. So if my facts are completely wrong, you can just yell at me.
you're just
It's cool.
talking it.
Exactly. I'm just pulling out thin air.
Okay, let's throw this ringer into the game though. Okay, so you've got the Ibanez Tallman acoustic that is kind of almost Tele-ish.
Mm-hmm.
The price point on that is like what, a few $100s.
Yeah, but
It's not.
I haven't got my hands on them.
Okay.
But when I think acoustics, I don't think Ibanez, and honestly, I don't think Fender. No. You don't. You just don't. And I want to know. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are really, truly fascinated by it, but I have a feeling that this is going to be. Like, this is going to be like a Gibson thing to me. And what I mean by that is Gibson, has been doing weird stuff as of late. I think it's Fender's turn. Maybe. But they feel like a Tele, but like my thing is, if I really want to excel at an electric tone, what I'm going to do, I'll buy a Tele and then I'll put a piezo pickup in there and get a really nice preamp pedal, run it in, and bam, acoustic sounds and electric sounds. And I have a feeling the sound will not just be comparable, it might be even better. That's just me, though. I think Scott wants to say something. Did we get a price?
I look forward to buying one for $50 at a garage sale in a few years.
I don't know if you heard that. I don't feel like getting up, but he just stated, I look forward to buying this for $50 at a garage sale a couple years from now.
Oh man!
Bam! That's cold blooded.
That's.
See, I was trying to be polite. They're $2,000.
Yeah.
That's a hefty price tag. for what honestly kind of is a gimmick, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is very gimmicky. I think they're trying to. I don't know what the demographic is here.
I don't either. That's my thing. Who is this for?
You think
But
they're
then
trying to
they
get the
already-
Taylor
T5
T?
player who found the Taylor T5 too big.
Okay. Well, a Taylor T5 player who maybe
Finds
finds a T5 too big is what Scott said. But okay, so it is one of those things that I could see, like, there's that guy and he's mainly an electric player, and maybe he's taking some fly dates. I mean, this is a very specific kind of person that's probably not even like much of a percentage in the music industry. He's taking fly dates. He's like, my band is doing a lot of acoustic work when we normally play electric, but I'm used to playing an electric, and so I need this guitar because it's lightweight. I can put it in a kick bag. I can fly with it, and it's going to get me both tones, whatever. And I just don't know.
Again, buy a made in Mexico Fender Telecaster, throw a piezo pickup in the bridge, and there you go, and a preamp pedal. What'd you say?
The Yamaha style guitar would be a better option.
Yeah.
Truly did feel Tele-ish because like the thickness is there, but again, as a standalone acoustic, what good is it? It's no louder than an actual electric Telecaster.
No. I think if you were going to follow this concept through, first of all, ditch the piezo. Like, unless you're like a dual pickup system and dual pickup acoustic system, where you're using the piezo strictly for the bass response. Maybe they could like lean into somebody like LR Baggs to actually make this thing sound good, or they could come up with a pedal that takes this beyond what the onboard electronics is. Again, that's a stupid idea.
You know what's in the onboard electronics, right? You know it has modeling.
Yeah.
So it does modeling like different acoustic
It does, but
setups that are common.
It's modeling at the same time. The pickup is still highly coloring that sound.
Well, that's the electric side, though.
No, the piezo is highly coloring sound. It's got that quacky, honky sound that you expect from a.
So, in other
piezo.
words, you would have to buy another preamp pedal, which is my original suggestion to begin with.
Yeah, I'm half awake here, so
yeah, no, I get it. I want to know why they have. It was just a huge presence, and that's what shocked me the most about it.
yeah.
It was literally Fender's thing. Yeah, they announced two pedals. One's basically like a Keeley workstation, but their own version of it. So it's compression, overdrive, and distortion, I think, or something like that. And they had another pedal, but honestly, guitar-wise, that was what they brought to the show, and that is what mattered.
Better option.
Line 6 Variax.
A Line 6
And what
Variax.
are
there you
those? What are
go.
those selling for on the used market right now?
200, 300.
Yeah. Yeah, and for all you HX, or not HX stomps, but Helix users, there you go. Tonal variations are endless.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I haven't even thought of that option, but that's yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You're correct. But, yeah. I will say the Princeton non-reverb,
That's
amazing. Whose signature is that, Scott? Christopher Stapleton has
okay.
Princeton non-reverb brown face amp. It comes with like a really cool cover case. It looks gorgeous. It's just your classic volume tone and trim circuit.
Yeah.
Looks really good. I thought that was very cool. Other than that, when it comes to Fender, they had some great master builds. Like I said, that was cool. Oh, how'd you feel about the Jimmy Page stuff?
I
think
don't
they're
get that
tacky and
excited
ugly.
about that. To be honest, I could care less. I think on that one.
Yeah. So I mean, I want to know what lawyer's gonna buy the $25,000 version of that. Scott just looked at me. You guys can't see. He got super wide-eyed. The Dragon one is $25,000. That's not an exact. Now they make a cheaper version. That's like still $5,000, but like the super duper limited edition one, is $25,000. And it comes with this like anvil case. I was talking to one of the anvil reps. He's like, "Yeah, I designed that case. There's only 50 of them, and it's really cool. And it comes with the violin bow. It comes with a coily cable. Cool swag for a $25,000 guitar. That has a dragon on it.
Yeah.
Or the mirror ones." The mirror thing, like I
Is
don't
that
know.
the one with the matching wall?
Oh, it comes with a wall?
There was one that I can't remember. If it was there was one that had a
He's
matching
doing
wall.
3 of them. There's
Okay.
3 of them. There's the mirror one, there's the dragon one, and then there's the really cheap one, which is just like a white, like finished tele.
Okay.
Don't yawn on me. That's rude. We've had a really long week at NAMM here.
Yeah.
Late nights, early mornings. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So shift gears from the Fender booth.
Okay.
If we're talking guitars, what other things have caught your interest, guitar wise?
Guitar wise, are we talking about strictly guitars or anything related to guitars?
Well, we could talk other topics in a minute.
Okay. Actual
stay on
guitars?
guitar topic.
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't get to play them. But Reverend has some really cool stuff this year. The Firebird teles that they have like the centerpiece that's like raised higher like a Firebird. Look really, really cool. But I thought those were really cool.
Okay.
Honestly, other than like guitars that are strictly there for the purpose of demoing amps and pedals, I didn't really get my hands on any.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's just haven't gone around and like sat down and played a lot of the guitar booths just because they're packed in. With a lot of them, they're not really set up to where you can actually play them and get a good idea. Like the Riverland stuff, they have like 2 rows, no amps to plug into, and they're kind of high up. It's where like I wouldn't feel comfortable just grabbing it. I would ask for assistance,
Right.
and that's probably by design. Or like the smaller booths, like I would think G&L would have a bigger booth. Their booth was not that big this year. I mean, maybe it wasn't big in previous years. I don't know. But it was packed with just a wall of guitars, and there was like no real way to play them.
Yeah.
But as far as looks, Reverend takes the cake when it comes to like other teles that are not Fenders.
Yeah. I think they have a pretty interesting booth. I saw their booth from a distance this year, but I did go check them out last year.
Yeah.
And they had a good booth. I guess I'm shifting gears a little early here, but I thought Jennings had some really interesting stuff at his booth.
Oh, so That was like the only guitars that I've played, but I've been on a Jennings kick for a while. If you guys haven't seen it, I did an episode of Talking Teles with him and his Navigator. He actually released a new neck profile that's really cool. It's even thinner for those guys who like. I would compare it. It's like shreddy in the same way that like a SG is shreddy. If that makes sense. Like it's not like a Ibanez Wizard neck, but it's not like just like a modern C. It's definitely a lot faster for those guys who enjoy that. Jennings just kills with those guitars. A lot of those guitars I did get the opportunity to play before NAMM, and the guy, I cannot wait for him to like really just blow up because I feel it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like it has to happen. His stuff is so good. To even a lot of other, I won't mention specific names, but other boutique brands who are in that same realm, who right now, as of right now, have a bigger market share. I think his fit and finishes blow most of them out of the water.
Well, he's got a lot going on, I think, and he's pumping out some beautiful guitars. I like his designs. I think they're modern yet nod to some classic guitar designs.
Yeah,
his fit and finish, his neck works good. I could easily enjoy. Especially, I really like the Catalina. I think the Catalina is just.
Oh, you do? Oh, see, I when it comes to his stuff like that, I much prefer Voyager.
That one's a cool one as well. Yeah.
That's just preference, though. They're both amazing. Co for quite some time with the One Day Roadshow, like guitar show. He had a Catalina that had Filtertrons in it that are just. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, good, solid stuff. I'm gonna talk about one of my. You probably heard me mention these guitars probably way too many times at the show, but B.A. Ferguson has got the Flyweight, and I really enjoyed that guitar.
Okay, yeah.
It is super thin, really lightweight guitar, but it nods more at like a kind of like a, to me, like a Les Paul Jr. style. Yeah. Did you get to play that one?
No, I did not.
Okay. They had one at the Creation booth. They had
I saw that when I was at Creation.
Yeah.
Doing my thing, I actually played that Catalina I was literally just talking about because Co's letting them do their thing with it for NAMM.
Yeah. He had one of his flyweights over there at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he had two more of the flyweights over at the Greer booth.
Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go.
Okay. So I have drug RJ over to the Greer booth probably 3 or 4 times now.
Yes, he has, and he goes on and on about it multiple times throughout the day. Clifton has got some serious gas for Greer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but like it calls my name. I love those amps.
Greer gas, I love it.
Greer gas.
Hashtag Greer gas.
Yeah. Well, you got to say that dude's got like the coolest beard ever.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it makes me feel like my beard's not enough, but
that man will make anybody feel like their beard's not enough. Oh, that was sweet.
Oh man. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself over that. That I don't know, there's something about like that booth. I love that booth because it's so chill. Like you can just He's like, dude, just play, man. And so, I mean,
we'll talk about the one product that you like literally insisted on playing for a good chunk of time. Both the like 3 times we were there.
The Soma. Okay.
There you go.
The Soma is it's the first pedal of its type, and he's got like this transformer in there that like you goose up, like it's an overdrive pedal, and you goose up the gain on it, and it's like slamming into a like a transformer that's inside that pedal that makes it kind of sag and stuff, and so it sounds like it's almost like you're goosing up a tube amp and slamming the like output transformer and make it sag. It's just a really, really cool concept, and I'm not sure that something like this has been done.
You know what I can appreciate about it is right now, the big thing, one of the trends, I guess you could say, at NAMM was, and it's been going like that way the past few months, the preamp pedal. Everybody's out with you got Chase Bliss. You know, ever since the hit with the Benson preamp, and he's got the new model out too. Who else released a preamp this year? Like, it's a thing. It was probably one of those like things like every company's doing one, right? With the Soma, I feel like it's a much more inspiring and an original take on something that's similar, but not quite like just a blatant, oh yeah, this is a preamp pedal, you know, that you can run into the front end of your amp or to, you know, like a emulated speaker output, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I did see a ton of preamp type pedals. Even so JHS.
Oh yeah, JHS is one. Yeah, I totally forgot.
Is the Clover.
The Clover, yeah, correct.
I had a lot of fun with that pedal. I think it had a knob that did like 3 different settings. Like one was like a flat setting, and then one was like a mid scoop, and then one was like I think, was it full range or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's got XLR on it, you know, stuff like that. But I think the most natural sounding interaction with just a good old amp was that Soma. I mean, I'm giving you a lot of, you know, like giving you a hard time over the Greer thing, like, but no, like truly, it does sound really good. Yeah. It sounded great.
Yeah. Okay, so if we were to say this is the year of XYZ in pedals, what would you say?
This is the year. I mean, I would say preamp and / harmonic trims.
Yeah,
everybody's come out with a harmonic trim. It's a thing.
Bed Creation came out with one.
Copper Sound.
I'm
trying to think. There's a couple other. But no, I mean, it's cool. Harmonic trims are never been my thing. I know a lot of people, they're sought after.
Well, let me just tell you this, and this is as much as I'm going to say. There's going to be a really cool pedal that I know of that's going to have a preamp and a tremolo together.
I think yeah. So I've been told. So I've heard.
So that's all we're going to talk about.
Yeah. No.
But
yeah, it's pretty nifty. Oh. You know what?
The utility pedal.
Scott said that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. He's right. Year of the utility pedal.
Let's see. You had JHS had theirs. Who else?
You had Earthquaker. No, let's rephrase. JHS had 3. They had 3. They had the ABY, the summing amp pedal, and like a router of some sort, right? Yeah. Like another loop. Like a loop. Yeah. Yeah, like a loop thing. Then you had Earthquaker. I feel like there was somebody else who released one too. Might have been. It might have been one of the Keeley ones. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's totally out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we need all those when you could just, for the price of what they're charging to get like each one, you could buy a really comparable looper, like loop.
Clean grant, blend, preamp, electronic stuff. That makes this.
I guess. I really wish we could have Scott in on this. Like he's busy doing stuff, but he's just commenting here and there. Yeah, he's editing right now. But no, and I get that, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, there's gonna be somebody who finds a really interesting way to use these things.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. But I feel like again it goes back to the Fender thing. I feel like it's the 2% of the top 2% of like a certain kind of player that's gonna be using this stuff.
yeah. It'd be interesting to see, like for instance, JHS had that preamp pedal.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how it's based off like a 1980s like pulse pedal.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see like the stuff they're making today, how that's gonna shape and form players, up and coming players, and how like man, some of this stuff could have a cult following.
I guess. And Josh Scott is like a huge fan of like the weird. Like he even mentions that Boss like pedal that you're talking about in an episode of like one of his vlogs, and like how like he was like really he got it when he was a kid. It's like one of those things at the end of the day a lot of builders are just kids at heart, and like were super influenced by certain things that they had, whether they were the best things or the worst things. They're making it cool now. I think that's just like what he's done for quite a while, and I feel like a lot of builders are like that as well.
Totally. The pedal community is such an interesting one because a lot of those guys are they seem to toss ideas around back
Absolutely.
and forth, and it's a lot of them are helping each other out. Like some of those guys have other people who are making a lot of the same like PCB boards, and
well, I mean, take a look at prime example about people working together. It's a lot friendly of a community. Chase Bliss, Dark World.
yeah,
All those reverbs were designed by other builders. He just put it together and put like his Chase Bliss thing to it.
yeah.
But the actual algorithms was one is Keeley. Scott, you were looking at me like you knew what I was talking about. One's Keeley. I forget who the other ones are. Cooper FX.
Okay.
Yeah, did one of them. I want to say one more.
No, the dark side is like a Cooper effects algorithm for the VHS thing.
Okay, Cooper FX. Okay. Keeley did the spring. Oh, okay. So, and Keeley did the other algorithms.
Okay.
But, like, yeah, and go back to real quick to Josh Scott, who, a couple of years ago, the Angry Driver had another small, quote unquote, relatively small builder pair with a bigger company, the Verenium Ibanez Tube Screamer.
Yeah.
I just saw they actually have them on Sweetwater. While we were at the booth, it's listed at $650. They're officially $450 because somebody's already posting about them being available.
Instagram video, I think, of Jim Bowers playing with that pedal.
Yes. But again, it goes back to that community that even the bigger guys are trying to get in on, and culminate these relationships,
Totally.
which is really cool. Really cool. Do I need a $450 tube screamer? I don't know. I don't think so. But
It did sound, I mean, exceptional. I think there are people who are going to want it.
absolutely.
Especially if, you have to remember, like, a lot of guys aren't utility players. I want this thing because it's something that's new, special, something.
I mean, that's what
limited
the market,
runs.
the majority of the market is based on, right? Like, that's just what it boils down to. It's the new, cool, hip thing. But I think it's really cool that that's how it is, because you don't get that with other sections of the music industry or
No, not at all.
music instruments and things like
No, not at all.
that's like, Fender going to, I don't know, I wouldn't say Gibson, but like a smaller builder who's still relatively known, and like, let's do something together.
You're not going to see that in the guitar.
No, because that's competition where everyone in the pedal community is like, hey friend, what are you working on? Well, I'm working on this. And I think that's really cool. And to kind of bring it back to NAMM, and we got on this tangent about builders being friends. Bring it back to NAMM. There are so many great smaller builders there this year because of how they've organized it and given this platform to smaller builders, like the exhibit, the Stomp Box exhibit. Like, how cool is that?
I think they had that, but then there was another one.
There's a smaller one.
Yeah.
And so that smaller one had like Mythos pedals. Had what was the one that you guys were trying earlier?
Westminster, and then Humboldt. And then you had the one that Native Audio was at.
That was the bigger one.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That was the bigger one. That Native Audio, Solid Gold. Who else was at that?
Oh, there's probably a dozen.
Yeah, Brian Burke from 60 Cycle. That's where he was based out of. All NAMM. And I think that's cool. Of course, you had downstairs, which was just funny. Like some of the stuff, like you guys had mentioned in the previous episode, or Scott's episode, I should say. It was funny. Cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott just looked at me because I mentioned his name. I don't think you heard what I was talking about. I'm just talking about the basement. Just kind of some of the funny stuff. But Strymon was down there. And that was the weirdest thing. I feel like Copper Sound is not as big, but they were upstairs with a relatively big booth.
Yeah.
Floor space wise. They're up there and Strymon was downstairs. And I thought that was a little crazy.
That's unusual, but you know what? Maybe there's a reason for it.
This is true.
So, one of the things that I mentioned this, so you had like a lot of the smaller companies at these boutique pedal builder booths, but then like you see some of these other guys like Copper Sound and Walrus. Well, Walrus has always set up booth. But Matthews Effects was there over by Wampler, and that's a big step up for him because last year he was down in the basement.
Yeah, well, he went with, I was lucky enough to get an interview with him and go over his new revisioned line with the new artwork and new features. But that booth over there was really cool. You've got a bunch of great brands. You have Wampler, Friedman, guitars. Morgan was over there.
Yeah, it was kind of like a boutique booth with several of those brands.
Yeah. And it was pretty cool. Very classy setup, like it was all interconnected too.
Yeah.
Like I really liked how the booth looked. But yeah, no, you had some like smaller dudes who really came up it seemed like, they're getting their chance to shine, if you will.
Absolutely.
And I wonder, and you guys may be more aware of this because you guys have been to Winter NAMM more. This was my first one, but I've been told like the way they did it this year, how it was it's very sectioned this year. You're not like, I think I've seen videos where like Brian Wampler is right next to a drum booth, Sorry. Make NAMM great again. Somebody needs to make that a hat, please.
Oh man.
But no, it was really cool. Like, there's literally a guitar section now for the most part. Unless you're like, Boss, who has just a massive booth all the way by like the pro, quite kind of by the pro audio gear.
Yeah, it teeters on the edge of that. Yeah.
But no, for the most part, you have guitars, drums, and I think that was cool. I noticed that when we were in the drum section today, that we didn't realize how truly loud it was, and then we went over to the guitar section, and we were like, "Oh, that's a noticeable drop in dB." It was quite funny. Or like downstairs was even quieter.
Yeah.
Like downstairs, you could literally whisper to each other and still
Yeah. It Thursday it was manageable. Today was like out of hand.
But that's because all the normal people, I say normal people like I'm above them, but all the civilians came. Yeah. But no, it is true. But I also think that back to the the noise differences. How many booths are you at now? It's just a headphone, because that's where we're at. Like, it's headphone amps. Yeah. All these pedal companies, headphone amps, which I don't have a problem with. They sounded great. But it also kind of makes you think. I know some people really want to know how it reacts with the tube amp. Like Scott over there, who's raising his hand. But it definitely does affect the sound. There's still like the amp builders who crank it, and like there's still a lot of noise, but I feel like it wasn't as deafening as it's been described to me in the past.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm just ranting at now. See, that's how you know it's late. We're just like going on random stuff. We're just letting it hang out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's there's so many things that you go to NAMM and you see and you wonder about and whatever. But I think, and this is gonna be my segue into the most important part of NAMM, is all that stuff's fun, and then there's stuff that gets on your nerves. But the most important part of NAMM, I think, is the people of NAMM. And
here we go. People of NAMM. Hashtag that. Look it up. It's disturbing sometimes.
Yeah.
Or it's really funny.
No, and I say that, but like, it's not the outlandish people. It's getting to talk to all these people and people who are trying to run down a dream.
Yeah.
And that entrepreneurial spirit that pervades there. And
I like how you're taking this to a positive note.
I'm taking this right up to the sky, positive note.
Yeah.
But
that's Clifton for y'all.
I'm gonna turn around and make a negative a positive.
That's right.
But it's truly the people and the relationships you foster. And I think I saw somebody post before I went to NAMM, hey, would you rather go to a show and hang out with your buddies or go to NAMM? And I said, you know what? For me, it's NAMM.
The same thing, right?
What's the difference? I mean, you could go to a rock show and hang out with all your buddies, or go to NAMM and hang out with all your buddies. And I said, I think for me, it's NAMM because of the people, and it's all the relationships that you built, going to NAMM. And
they are your buddies. Yeah. Like the taco party.
Exactly.
Nobody was there talking business. Nobody was like trying to like networked super hard. I'm sure some things were said, but really everybody was just hanging out. And there was live music, so it was like a show. It was Josh Smith was there, y'all. Sorry, nerding out.
It was a musicians party.
No, and that's the best kind. That was the best kind. They it was so refreshing after spending all day in NAMM. You know, there's a lot of those like remnants of like 80s,
Yeah,
from LA and Sunset, 80s guys who are like just picking up the Diamond amp or the you know, whatever high gain amp and chugging along and shredding, bruh. Things that like subtle and things like that don't go well on the NAMM floor.
yeah. But you know what? I think it's maybe I'm wrong. I think that what you're gonna see in the next few years is those types of guys disappearing from the show.
I don't.
You don't think?
No.
It's gonna be
They're
there?
not that quite that old. I don't want to get bid, but they're not that old yet.
They sure seem like dinosaurs.
They to us, but you know what? Far along, we're not that far away from becoming those kind of
Yeah.
people.
Well, yeah.
You know, except for, you know, we're just kind of different wardrobes. It's like, oh, those dudes who
Wear all the T-shirts with the boutique brands.
Yeah. You see those guys and the beards, you know, because like that's gonna be the thing. Like 80s was the hair, and then for us it's gonna be the beards.
Get a haircut, but grow your beard long, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's us. Yeah,
Well,
that's totally gonna be us.
that's totally us. I say if I could ever get to the point where I'm one of the dudes who's walking around NAMM in the blazer and the dress shoes, then I know I've grown up. And I don't know, maybe that.
Would you be going to NAMM at that point? I mean, there are plenty of people who are like that.
Oh, Scott will be that dude soon.
Scott is that dude, apparently. Yeah.
He's growing up.
Oh, he's more adult than all of us. But no, I think it will eventually get like that. But you're gonna see a big difference, I think, is the way it would stop sooner is if there wasn't companies to cater to that group. There's still plenty of companies that cater to that group.
That's true.
There's the diamond guitars, I'm trying to think of other like pokies, sharp guitars, not just for instance today, you weren't there, but I was hanging out with Scott. We were waiting for you. You got lost on the wrong floor. When I was like, when everyone was like, come meet us at, the Fender booth. Phil Collins, not the drummer, the guitarist from Def Leppard, was there, and people were just packed the house to just snag a picture on their cell phone. He came out like the side door of the Jackson booth.
Yeah.
You know, like Def Leppard. Why is that still a thing? It is, though. Yeah. Scott was. I was like, who's that? And the only reason I know is I have an aunt who's on my dad's side who was like still very much stuck in the 80s. So yeah, I grew up listening when I was always over at their place, listening to Def Leppard, and that's why I know. Yeah. That's the only reason.
Okay, well, point taken. I guess that scene is still alive and well.
Yeah, when you go outside of ESP Guitars, which is also on the floor. No, it's on the third floor, or the fourth if you're considering the basement. Whatever. That flying V that they have that's like covered in like crosses. That's like the most metal thing ever. There's still that market, and until that market shrinks down, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
For a good 10 years, maybe. You're still gonna have the guys in the leather jacket with the hair, super long, blonde, and straightened, and big old, cop shades,
Yeah.
aviators.
Yeah.
You're still gonna have that.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's here to stay.
Maybe not so much Summer NAMM. It sounds like it's very different there. Like I said, you're right next to LA. You're right next to the hair metal capital of the 80s, Sunset Boulevard. Like they're still there.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other thoughts about NAMM before we wrap this up?
Yeah, like I know you guys talked about you're not trying to get free shirts and stuff, but I just want to ask you, what was your favorite piece of swag that you got this year?
My favorite piece of swag. Well, I have two.
Okay.
Say two.
Yes, two. Just don't make that again, because that's a whole nother thing.
Sean Arbo gave me a T-shirt from Gun Street Wiring.
Same here.
Pretty rad shirt. And
Proud sponsor of Teletalk. Sorry, throwing that out there.
Sean's a super dude. Got to hang with him a lot this week and get to know him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And super great guy.
Yep.
And then I've got this shirt that I'm also proud of that I got from Boot Areola of VA Ferguson. It's the flyweight T-shirt, and I love that one as well.
Very cool. For me, honestly, I really love my WordPress.
Yes,
Hydro Flask thing was amazing.
That's amazing. I was excited to get that, and it could have come at a better time when I was tremendously thirsty.
Yeah, that was cool. I really like my Walrus Audio lanyard.
Oh, dude, I'll have to check that out.
There's some pretty cool enamel pins this year. And while we're at the pancake breakfast, Clifton knows how to make a really mean pancake. Did a great job. I got a half horse. I want a half horse.
Yeah, dude, I'm super jealous.
Pelican Noise Works. Like, I'm so happy because it's an amazing pedal, and I've known it's amazing.
Talking about Pelican Noise Works.
Okay.
We had a shocker at NAMM.
Oh yeah, big one.
Nobody knew, but Leon from Pelican Noise Works flew in
last minute. Literally, that's what he was saying. He's like, we were thinking about it, we weren't gonna, and then we just did.
Yeah, and he came to NAMM, and so a lot of us who have not met Leon in real life finally got to meet him, and I think that's amazing. Super great guy.
Yeah. No, I met him at 200 episode with 60 Cycle Home.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Very cool guy, very nice. One of those genuinely nice people who will give you the shirt off their back.
Any nicer and more genuine. And so that was a highlight of NAMM. Getting to meet Leon.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can see. I mean, he's pretty, striking, if you will.
So.
Let's see. Oh, and real quick, Namthrax is a real thing. I don't know if I'm getting it or I'm just my allergies are kicking in. I hope I'm just allergies. Been using hand sanitizer like crazy, but. Can we talk about something real quick while we were just running by, trying to get to the guitar section, the section that matters? There was a woodwind and brass section, and there was literally these dudes playing saxophones.
Yes.
Were there. Like it was nothing, and I'm like, why? It's one thing to put your hands on a guitar that thousands of people have touched, but to put your mouth on something that's been touched, maybe it's because the market's so small. Maybe there's only 20 people who show to look at brass, which I highly doubt. I'm being
No.
sarcastic there. But like seriously, why would you put your mouth on a saxophone at NAMM
I
to
don't
try it out?
I don't even know, but that sounds so terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are the real daredevils. Like they're the real bad mamma jammas of NAMM.
That is more rock and roll than anything we're doing.
That is totally more rock and roll than any pointy shaped guitar, booth babe, written like, full stacks. No, that's rock and roll, guys. To risk that, like that's just...
Yeah.
No, it was.
I would think like if you come to NAMM and you play like one of the instruments, you bring your own mouthpiece, and even then you're blowing through an instrument that's seeing other people's saliva. And it's going out, but I mean, you're breathing through a tube.
Not everybody's got that technique down to where they're gonna inhale.
Yeah,
they'll inhale. I guarantee you, there is DNA being swapped at those booths, sir. Don't look at me like that, Scott.
Hey, they're probably the most immune people.
Oh, dude, I want that in my life. I don't think I was prepared. I've been vitamin C, zinc, and all that fun stuff, and I still feel like I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
I'm scared. Hold me.
I think you'll be okay. But hopefully, everybody stays healthy. And
yeah,
I tell you what, though, if I don't get some rest soon, I think I'm going to collapse tomorrow on the floor. So, being said,
you're being crazy going on the floor again. I don't even know if I can do that. I don't think I've got it in me.
If I'm going to be here for 4 days and I set the time aside away from my family, I'm going to make myself go to the floor and get that extra content. Because
if he doesn't, y'all, I'm gonna point it out. I feel like you're going to cave. You're not.
Let's see how big my resolve is tomorrow, but tomorrow, I'm hoping the last day it could go and just kind of tie up a lot of loose ends of things that I wanted to do.
Like go to the Greer booth?
Of course. What? I gotta, show some love and fanboy a little bit more.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, it's been fun, and anybody who has stayed and listened with us here to the very end, thank you for that. And
I'm sorry, I'm not cut out for this podcast life, yo. I just ramble.
Go check out his YouTube channel, Telly Talks, and he's also on Instagram and does a lot of really cool stuff on Instagram.
Thank you. You so kind.
Follow his content because
actually, probably depending on when this goes live, there's actually a video with Clifton on. We're talking more about Fender, but it's a lot more concise, I promise. Because we had our wits about us.
Yeah.
When we reviewed.
We were in
the
zone. We were in the zone.
There. Yeah. We were focused. We had our game faces on for sure.
So, anyways, thanks for listening in. Be part of the discussion, and we're gonna get some photos up of some of the stuff we talked about.
Absolutely. Just remind me.
Absolutely. So. Thank you again, RJ, and until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Love you guys.